Welcome back, Troglodytes, to your daily dose of guitar information, the Trogly's Guitar Show, Late Night Edition. If you guys are still up, let's go ahead and check out this Gibson Firebrand The Paul Deluxe from 1981 that's fully upgraded. Yeah, I think they've absolutely destroyed this thing, but they've modernized it in a way that I'm sure somebody will appreciate to see. And my main motivation to make this video actually comes down to bringing awareness about the true Firebrands. In the late 70s, Gibson introduced kind of what became the precursor to the studio model in a roundabout way called the Paul. And it was actually an all-walnut guitar at the very inception. And these things have kind of gained a cult following over the years, and I think they are the best budget guitar that you can buy if you're looking for a 70s or 80s Les Paul that has a little bit of age to it. Because they've got the same electronics as all the higher end stuff, they feel and sound great. They're a little bit different from like a Les Paul Custom, but they still have the ebony fretboard and that familiar Les Paul shape. These things have such a cult following, they reissued them in 2019 very briefly. And I've got separate reviews and demos of these guitars if you want to check them out, both reissues and originals and Firebrands. But they eventually renamed the Paul into a Firebrand because they Firebrand the emblem into the headstock. And then eventually they actually brought back the Paul moniker towards the end and kind of just blended the names between them. So you'll see these always get listed as Firebrand The Paul just so they show up in the search engines. They started doing exotic finishes later on. However, true Firebrand Les Pauls are actually becoming quite rare and valuable. The Pauls, you can buy one any day of the week, but finding one that looks like this very well might have been Gibson's very first antiquing relic job. They did this black splatter paint that was really popular in furniture back in the day. You can't really see it, but there would be like impressions where they just like threw a bag of nails on the things. It's very common for people to think that these were just used instruments. I know if you go way back, I even questioned if mine was original or not, but now I know better. And it's 1000% factory stock, and they branded the logo in here. It is hard to find these things for sale, just a regular Firebrand. They do not show up too often. I'm actually surprised I found one here on Reverb. However, yeah, there's something weird going on with the serial number, many replaced parts. Man, it looks like they took that from a Les Paul Platinum. Headstock crack. Yeah, as you can tell, this thing has some issues and it's been used and the pickups have been ripped out of them. That's the other thing. You got to make sure you have the original T-tops. So 1250 is an absolute pipe dream for this example. So hey, if you own one of these things, just know you have something special because it is hard to find them. But now that you know what it originally looked like, except for this one would have had double black pickups like this guy, let's take a look at this thing. So right away, it's been completely refinished in white. However, you can still see the Fire-branded Gibson logo in there, so hey, at least you have that. You didn't lose that in the refinish like you would normally do. But when we move on to the body, this kind of gives me like the DJ Ashba Les Paul vibes. I mean, he's not the only one that's ever done a striped Les Paul in the center here, but that's the first one that came to my head right now. But you get some sort of like a worn white finish over here, abalone encrusted knobs on the center, and then an interesting choice of hardware here. So we get some sort of a black locking bridge, and they chose to go with a gold tailpiece. And essentially the whole theme of this guitar is to go black and gold. You get double gold stripes and then black center. So these two then match up with what you got here, a black pickup ring with a what appears to be a gold pickup ring. And then you look at your pickup covers, the gold pickup cover with the black cover. And hey, you take it even a step further. Inside here you can see the gold screws and then they've got black. I've got to hand it to them. I might not love this design, but hey, at least they did a theme and they stuck to it. And then when you move on to the pickguard here, they've got some sort of like a paisley design on this. Kind of interesting. It looks like it was etched in black. Maybe they should have did a black bracket though, and like a black screw. I'm not sure if that would have looked right or not, but hey, maybe they could experiment with that. And even the new rhythm treble poker chip here, it kind of looks like a compass. There's some people that look down on the Paul Firebrands because of where the toggle switch is located. I honestly don't mind it. I like it. And continuing on here, with black strap locks like for your strap part and then gold buttons there. And then we move up here. They swapped the nut out for a black one. They even went as far as putting black washers under the tuners and gold securing nuts. I'm kind of surprised that they didn't go for a brass nut though, because I mean, let's face it, you've got all the white here, you got the white on the back of the neck, you get the black here on the truss rod cover with what appears to even be gold screws. With the black ebony fretboard, it almost seems natural that a brass nut would go better on this, but maybe they chose the black one for a particular reason as far as playability. Gibson actually did a similar thing like this on the 25th, 50th anniversaries with silver and gold. Well, this one has the truss rod cover Firebrand The Paul Deluxe. I do want to clarify here, finding this one, it's pretty common. Just finding the one that says LP Firebrand. That's the one that's getting hard to find. And I've yet to see a very clean example in like years. But oh man, the tuners they put on these. They're nice locking tuners by Godo, right? But should have had black backs. I'm sure they could cannibalize a different set of tuners and somehow make it happen, but I do like to see that they left the serial number alone. This appears to be some sort of a satin finish, which these originally were. It looks like our little design goes onto the side, and wow, I'm kind of surprised that they either painted the back plate or made a different one, because that would have originally been black. Maybe it was missing, but maybe at the same time they were going for a pure white back here. But just in case you are missing your control plate, buddy, I do have a couple in my parts drawer. And just in case you haven't visited my other videos on these guys, they're actually a slightly thinner Les Paul, and they've got this belly cut on the back. So definitely check one out. They've gotten a lot more expensive lately. I mean, you used to pick those things up anywhere between like $650, maybe $1,100 for a really clean one. Nowadays, the range seems to be like $900 all the way up to $1,600. And that's all because they reissued them. It renewed interest. But back to this guy, it looks like it's been completely rewired. Can't quite see the pot code readings anywhere, but I would imagine they went with 500K, and we get the large orange capacitors. So yeah, not my favorite Firebrand I've ever seen, but at least they did a design and they stuck to it, and we had a topic to talk about for today. It would have been interesting to see them like add binding to this instrument or something though, because that would have looked really sweet with black binding, really like encapsulating this whole design. The only problem is you get your comfort cut right here, so binding doesn't really work on the Paul. You might be able to add it to the neck if you wanted to refret the whole thing. But black binding doesn't do much, and I don't think cream binding would look all that good either. So probably a good idea that they just left it alone. So for today's playing demo, let's check out a Gibson Firebrand. The only question left, would you rock the modified Firebrand or not? Leave your answer down in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we will see you tomorrow on the next episode. Take care.